You know, you just wake up with that energy. Yes, this is what I'm meant to do. Do what you're meant to do.
When life leaves you high and dry, I'll be at your door tonight if you need help, if you need help.
Like, I don't know very many people who can say they wake up in the morning and look forward to going to work, and I do.
What'd you do?
Here, you get people around you who actually care that you succeed. Good job, very good.
Long after you're gone, gone, gone.
You got it. Show me how great you can swim right now. Getting in the water, you know, sometimes I know I feel like, God, I don't want to get in that water today. Faster, there you go, faster, there you go. But then little J or little T will look at me and go, are you getting in? And I'm like, all right, I get in. So here's this little kid, Mr. D, comes in. Probably 50 pounds soaking wet, but he's 10 years old. Don't give up on yourself. You gotta keep coming. 2 drug addict parents. So he had nobody. No grandmother, no auntie, nobody stepped up to say, hey, I'm gonna take this child. And he acted out every time around bedtime, and then finally he admitted, hey, look, nobody calls me. So what do you think I did on Saturday? Hey, can I speak to Mr. D? Mr. Todd, hey you guys, this is Mr. Todd. He's checking, I got a phone call. And so I just kept it up.
Alex was just angry. And the first day he started, he had gotten in a fight on the van on the way to day treatment. So when he walked in the door, fists were clenched. His mother was an alcoholic, and so I would go to the home and try to meet with her, and every time I went, no matter what time of day it was, she was in the bed. And he said, she's always in the bed. He didn't have any guidance or any support in his life. Deep down, he didn't want to be a troublemaker. He didn't want to be angry. That was survival mode for him. That's all he knew.
Very nice. An 11-year-old girl, Chloe, she had come in here, I think it was Thanksgiving. She came in and looked so defeated, and it broke my heart. I talked to her and said, hi, my name is Miss Denise, are you okay? And she said, not really. You knew from the moment you met her, this girl could change the world if you just gave her the chance. And she had this beautiful journal on her desk. And I said, what's that? She said, oh, it's my songbook. What I saw in the book was somebody so wise behind her years that I said, you know, I'm not gonna force you to talk to me at all. But if you ever need to, I'm going to be here if you need me. One day I'm teaching my class, and out of nowhere, she comes and stands in the doorway and looks at me. She said, Miss Denise, I'm ready.
Hey, swimming? You practicing? I would sit in his doorway and talk to him because he would always have issues at bedtime. He's peeking up out of the covers and he's talking, and that's when he finally says, are you scared to die? And I was like, no, if I've done my job, if I affected one life, I'm ready. And he was like, Mr. B, you ready? Because you affected my life. And he was just like, you make me feel, you make me feel alive, for a kid of that age to say, a guy that sees you for 4 hours a day change your life. And so, after that, man, we became, we were it.
On the outside, he was so angry and so aggressive, but on the inside, he just needed love, and he never had it. I just tell him every single day, I will never give up on you, and we're gonna make it. You're gonna get where you need to be. About 2 weeks before we started his transition, a peer provoked him, and he stayed in his seat and ignored it. And that was huge for him. He had never been able to do that before.
We sat 2 chairs outside the door, and she took a deep breath, and out came this whole story of, it just kept coming. And I didn't say a word. I just sat there and listened. She was a runner, somebody who ran away all the time. I thought to myself, well, why did she run? She ran because that's the only way she could get attention from people. That was her whole thing. She ran because she wanted somebody to hear her. Right before she left, she was on the computer, and she's like, Miss Denise, I'm doing college English classes. And that was so exciting to her. And I think she knew at that point she could do anything. And she ended up doing just that.
And when they talked about discharge, man, and I was like, what am I gonna do without Mr. D? Like, you know, that's my life, man. He said, no, I'm not going. And I was like, Mr. D, you gotta go. He said, well, you ride with me and I'll go. But boy, once we hit that turn in, he started crying, I started crying. He says, I'm gonna put you on my call list. You gonna call me? I said, yeah, I'm gonna call you.
When we had the meeting for him to transition back to school, the principal said, I don't want him back. And I said, but you're talking about the kid that started here a year ago, not the kid he is now. It was so bittersweet because I was so proud of him, but I didn't want him to leave. Then he cried and he said, I love Alexander Youth Network. I don't want to leave day treatment. And that's when I made him the promise that I would go have lunch with him every other week.
She just wrote to me 2 days ago, and she tells me about her life and how many good things she's doing. And that's why I need this child.
Like a drum, baby, don't stop beating. Like a drum, my heart never stops beating for you.
Oh yeah, I got this. You know, I'm gonna take all this training, I'm gonna take all this vibe, and I'm gonna go home, and it's great. You know, I love what I do.
Baby, I'm not moving on. I'll love you long after you're gone.
They're tough days, but it's all worth it in the end because we're there for them and we're helping them.
Like a drum, baby, don't stop beating. Like a drum, my heart never stops beating for you. And long after you're gone, 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 I'll love you long after you're gone, gone.